And immediately mute.
Yes.
Come on. There we go.
I'm trying.
Yay! We're on YouTube now.
Hello.
And I need to... The thing, of course, for anyone who I invited is it's 7 a.m. and a lot of people are not morning people for me.
Yeah.
Do we have anybody watching? Or we're just going to craft together.
Craft on our own. I mean, that's fine.
It is fine.
That's a cute mug. Is it a dragon?
That it is a dragon. It's I went and messed it up by peeling something off.
Oh.
This was made for me by... Is this still essentially a private conversation? Yeah. This was made for me by my girlfriend, which is not a thing I say in public. But yeah, very, very good friend. And then I had a coating on it to make it dishwasher safe, and then part of it peeled, and that's why.
Oh, no.
And so she's going to fix that.
Yeah.
And then I'm going
Really
to
pretty.
properly coat it again. Yes, I know. And well, here's the thing. She was asking, she made a mug for me, and then she made a mug for my husband. And she was asking about, like, what do you want on your mug? And I was like, I like dragons. She's like, I've never drawn a dragon before. And then she gave it to me. She's like, this is the first time I've drawn a dragon. And I'm like, that is unfair.
That's a very good dragon.
It's a very good dragon. It's so cute. It's my favorite.
I mean,
mug.
I'm still at like roughly stick level figure.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Like my drawing ability. So
drawing is not my strong suit.
no.
I had both a drawing and a painting class in college because I was originally going in for graphic design. I was not good at I think after the second one I had, the teacher was like, I think you did better at the last one. I was like, no, I didn't. No, I do not have any skill with painting or drawing.
No.
But hey,
No,
I have
me
people
neither.
in my life who I care about who do,
Yeah.
which means that I have people presumably that I can like eventually pay when I want to know what my characters look like.
Yeah.
That's like part of my plan where I'm just like, okay, I'm going to figure out the description of this character. I'm going to ask one of my mini artist friends. It's like, can you draw this for me? And how much would you do? Because like, that'll help me so much when I'm writing descriptions because I've got the same thing that Marcus does with Aphantasia.
Yeah.
And it's now I found out about Aphantasia from my sib, who also has it. It was funny because we were with our parents when we were talking about that, and they brought that up, and both my mother and I were like, that has a name and is a thing. And my dad was like, knew about it. He must have known about it from whatever my sib had read. He was just like, okay. And I looked up, it's like earlier today we'd had a conversation. It's like, you know how in Good Omens you said that War didn't look like you had pictured her? Anytime somebody says that to me, I'm very confused.
Yeah.
So like, I don't picture characters when I'm reading them. Just like, they're just an amorphous blob with a name that has like connected features.
Yeah.
Like, I know Harry Potter has green eyes, but I can't picture them.
Yeah.
I know what Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter looks like. Hey, we've got at least a person.
Hello.
Yes, Sasha. I can't just draw. Yeah, that was the next thing. This is my sib. They said that, and then my mom was confused and was like, "Oh, but you do, you draw stuff so well, and whatever." And it's actually not uncommon for people with aphantasia to be artists.
Yeah.
Like the one article I could find about it was like somebody in the Pixar studio had this thing and was surveying their employees. It's like, it's a surprising number of people.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a couple of years ago now, Marcus' family gets together a couple of times a year, like extended family. And we were just, it was the summer, we were sitting outside having some food, and we started talking about it because Marcus has it. And then like all around the table, it was like, oh yeah, me too. Yeah, I can't never picture anything. Everybody's like, oh, it's a family trait.
Yeah. Well, like I said, my mom and I were like, that's a thing. And my dad was like, I'm very confused by this.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've never questioned it because I do believe that when I'm reading something, it plays like a movie. Like, that's the experience I have. But then after Mark started talking about it, I was like, do I really though? And like, I'm now going to picture this thing. And I'm like, am I actually seeing it? Or am I just conceptually understanding what a green apple is? You know? Is it that I know what it is, so can I see it?
Yeah, which is the thing I'll sometimes describe it to people. Well, like I just did to you. It's like, I know what Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter looks like. I know what the Harry Potter cover looks like, but you just give me a description and I can't make my own unique Harry Potter in my head. I can remember what it looks like. I can occasionally, like if somebody's like, because of course English language uses a lot of like, oh, I'm picturing this and that sort of thing that I will say because, well, and the thing is, it's like, okay, I can do very basic image manipulation. You tell me, imagine this person in this outfit, and I can sort of conceptualize the bit of that would be funny, even though if I close my eyes, I can't draw my own picture of it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, I think, because this happens a lot in books. Like what I was saying about my dad was like, War didn't look like I pictured her. And if you have any details that are not directly written in the book, oh, I'm going to be a good, there we go. For me, I see things when I dream, so I can tell for sure I can't do it when I'm not dreaming.
Yeah.
My thing with that is because if I'm awake, my dream is a memory. And so I honestly don't know if I visualize things when I'm dreaming or if my brain lies to me and tells me that I visualized it while I was dreaming.
I see. I mean, Marcus has really,
he's on the far end of the spectrum.
No, but like for dreams, like they're crazy. He dreams about all kinds of things and like things that he's never encountered or watched or read or like anything. And those he can remember and tell me about. And those can be really, really in detail. Like, oh, when they looked like this and then they went to the left around the building and looked like this. Like lots and lots of details. Things that he wouldn't be able to do if he was writing, for example, or visualizing from reading.
Yeah. My dreams are so weird to explain. That's wild. My dreams are so vivid. Like, a lot of people are like, oh no, dreams are weird. And it's like, no, I just can't. I literally cannot for myself comprehend what just happened in my head. It's too weird. Though I do wonder if, because one of the things that'll happen when I'm dreaming very commonly is I'll do the person that I'm with or interacting with will change who they are.
Yeah.
Not in a way that I notice in the dream. It's definitely the same person, but 1 minute I'm doing something and it's like my husband, and then 10 minutes later, without me noticing a change, it's my mom. And I wonder if that's really, like my brain's just being lazy, and they're like, yes, you are hanging out with one person, and every time you do something with them, I will tell you who they are.
Exactly. It's just a shape of a person. You figure out the rest.
It's something when I'm reading a book, it is basically like there's just a cloud. The person looks like how their name is spelled, especially if I'm reading fantasy, is that a lot of times it's like, I don't actually have any guess as to how this name is pronounced, but it's what the character looks like. And it's got, the I don't think that's I'm trying to remember the thing where it's a circle and then like there are lines sticking out to other circles to describe
like a mind map?
Yeah, something like that, where it's just like, this character looks like their name, but with green eyes. Because that's an important detail.
So you can sort of, if you're reading a character description, even if you can't visualize them, you can still be like, yes, name, and then you could be able to
Yes.
list off green eyes, blonde hair,
Yeah.
size 14
As long
shoes.
as those are important. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember those the same way that you would remember this character is very stubborn, or like any other character trait that's important to the story. Now, if it's not important to the story, and I think Marcus has talked about this too. I think we talked about this on maybe even this Thursday, where it's just if there's any details that are not important to the story, you just, oh no, this wasn't the live stream. We talked about this in the Discord.
Yeah.
If there are any details that aren't like important, you just sort of skim the description and it does nothing for you.
Yeah.
Meaning that, you know, when you're looking at the advice of like writing advice that's like read a lot, if the description isn't important to you, then it's hard to remember how important it is to other people. And it's not just descriptions, but like choreography. Like if you're describing to me a fight blow by blow, I'll remember some of them, like maybe the really cool things. I'll remember that happened, but I just don't like, that's going to be tricky for me when I'm describing that, where it's like, and then this happened, and then that happened, and that happened. It's like, when I read that, I'm just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. Someone got in a blow there and a blow there, and then, oh, they're injured. Cool. Moving on.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes I will have to go back, because like at the end of it, when they're like, and then I got, you know, this is the injury and this and that, and I'll have to go back and like read through more carefully. And I'm like, this is when that injury happened.
Yeah.
This is the thing that led to it. Sometimes the customer, oh my God, tea.
It's early.
Sometimes you'll be like, the character will like reflect on something poorly and be like, oh, that was a terrible thing to do. And I have to go back and read it and be like, what did they do? Well, we're 10 minutes in and we've got at least one person watching, unless they went somewhere. So what creative thing are we doing today?
I am going to work on my temperature blanket, quote unquote blanket. That is very much not a blanket because it's very tiny.
I feel like a little lap blanket or a shawl.
It's too small. Yeah, the thing is, I was like, it could be a scarf, but it's starting to get very heavy, and I'm only 6 months in.
I mean, that just makes it sound like it's going to be very warm next winter.
Yeah, it looks like this now.
Matilda?
Yeah.
Oh, your thing froze, at least in StreamYard, for a moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am here. Fine. Do you hear me now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So it looks like this right now. It looks like it's getting wider. It's not supposed to. I think it's just that this side is like a little scrunched together. I think I can stretch that out.
I mean, if you had a tighter stitch there.
Possibly.
I mean, this is
it ripples in though.
Yeah.
Like it got all these creases so I can like stretch it out. So I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I don't really know what I'm doing, but it looks cute. So
that's good.
I'll take it. What are you going to work on?
I think I'm actually going to do some writing today, because I've spent most of the time that I've been doing things getting this. Oh, you and Marcus wanted to know the next time that we decided we had to rearrange where things were. That was earlier last week when we were setting up this room, because we just moved into the house, and we were like, well, let us know the next, how soon it is you change things. We decided to move, interestingly, the craft stuff that was in this room downstairs, which is fine because it's very easy for me to get to. And I went and I moved my desk, which is why there's now a wall behind me instead of like a thing that's got clothes on it and whatever. I'm like, one of the things I want to do is live streams, and I maybe want to have a more controlled environment behind me. This is still a mess, because yesterday after you messaged me, I was like, yeah, I should take care of that. And I just like vetted there, was like, okay, I've got to move this and that, and then just move the desk. I am planning eventually to, because I have to replace this desk fairly badly. But when we do that, I'm going to be putting it like on casters so that I can push it forward and just have more space without it being permanently in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I want to do videos that I need more space for, I can do that.
Yeah.
Like the T script that I will eventually finish.
Yeah. I believe you.
Sasha, what are you going to be doing? Oh, I also may decide to change my mind and start creating these boxes that I'm going to be making that fit in here for storing. I have a lot of samples of tea that I have not tried yet, like a lot. Just a whole bunch. And last year I was starting to plan to have little tea parties where I was going to have people over. I was going to have a goth tea party on my birthday, which is 2 days from now. And last year, and it was just like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to cancel that. Sasha's also doing writing. Are you participating in Camp NaNoWriMo, or are you just doing writing on your own terms?
Yeah, you're not doing camp, right?
I'm not doing camp because I have more things that need to be prioritized. Like, I'm really, really getting into migraine tracking, which is something I should have put more effort into earlier. But it's hard to get that done when you have migraines all the time. I'm on like day 3 without one. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah, that's good. That reminded me though, did Marcus ever send you the link to the tea?
Yeah, no, I was going to ask him about that.
I can see if I can find it. I don't know if they ship abroad, but I can find the tea.
Even if you like just take a picture of the ingredients list.
Yeah.
Like that's the place I get tea has all sorts of teas. And if it's partially an herbal tea, I can get some of that stuff in bulk. Like migraines take over my life so often. And so I want to do like 90 days of really good tracking, and Sasha does not want deadlines. Is this still working on that webcomic project? The thing that was based on the incredibly derivative fanfic project, which I have not read because, I'm the best at supporting the people in my life who have projects. I think we were talking on Thursday about like, I don't really read fanfic. Hey, we have got Violet here. Hello. Busy with a coding project. That's exciting. Well, I assume it's exciting.
Yeah.
So now at nearly 20 minutes in, anybody want to do a sprint? And how long do people want to sprint for? Let me see. This one, no. This one, yeah. Unless anyone has any objections, I think I'm going to go for a 20-minute timer. Ooh.
Fine with me.
This one looks cool. Yeah.
Time to dance.
Yesterday was more frustrating than exciting. That wasn't coding. That was server-side bullshit. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah. And we've got one vote that 20 minutes sounds good. So let me see. Yeah, I pulled up a timer too fast for Matilda's timer dance. So obviously next time it can't be a 20-minute timer. Let's see, that'll be this one.
What did I just do? I'm sorry. I think I managed to somehow put a knot in the middle of my yarn.
That's probably not good.
Probably not good. No, I don't know what happened. Okay, there we go. I don't know what happened. It was weird. It's fine.
It doesn't share audio unless I tell it to. Oh, good. We're going to do this one. Chrome tab. Oh, good. I was about to say, wait, I'll need that screen for writing. Let's see.
Time
that tab.
Time a dance.
Timer Dances aired figures out how to host a live stream. Haha. There we go.
Hey, ooh, pretty. Is it fireworks or stars?
Stars.
Pretty.
And okay, I am going to let's start our writing sprint.
Yay.
All right. That was 20 minutes. How well did everybody do? How was your scarf blanket shawl thing coming along?
Pretty good. I got almost a whole row. So,
Good.
yeah. How did your writing go?
Good. Somewhat. So, in theory, what I'm trying to do, and this is what it's been a while since I wrote the story, which means I've got a lot in my head. But in theory, what I am trying to do is I'm going through like the thought dump where I just put everything, and I am putting world stuff and plot stuff and not plot stuff, world stuff and character stuff into World Anvil. So I'm like making a page, and then adding to it and then crossing it out on the thought dump. And then I've got a separate document where I'm putting just plot stuff, but more figured out and somewhat in order. But of course, I have more stuff in my head, so I just added to the thought dump. Some of it I added directly to, like, so this story is flavor-wise kind of like the sort of mythology that exists with pantheons, so like Greco-Roman or Norse. And one of the things that I had decided is that some bards have a patron god, and therefore they've got like a priest-like status. And I wanted to find so I was Googling like synonyms for priest and decided to go with reverend bard. And then the purpose of this, of course, is the gods can keep them up to date on what's been going on, so they can make those songs and stories and whatever. Because if you're living in the middle of it, you can't, of course, have all of the stories be of the past. You could, but I liked the idea of just, hey, my bard, let me tell you about this awesome thing that I did last week.
Yeah.
The bard that is in the story, so the story takes place in like the realm of the dead, because there's lots of them, because people keep dying and then they don't go somewhere else. But the main character is the daughter of at least one god, but she doesn't know who. Or okay, she's the daughter of two gods, but she does not know that. She's like, but there is a god there. If Redfern Bard, I suppose I had not thought of that, but like, if Reverend means bard, does that mean that I am now a legally recognized bard? I mean, you would be theoretically then. My husband and I would be your patrons, and we're not actually gods. So, Reverend isn't synonymous with bard. It's just Reverend Bard versus a regular bard. I may have to change the terminology, or maybe not. Maybe I will have a god of bees, and they will have the Beezard. Speaking of Beezard, actually, I was reminded of this. There was a story that came out a couple of days ago where somebody went into a grocery store and they came out and there were like hundreds of bees in their car. Yeah. How would you respond to that?
How would that even happen? Is my question.
I mean,
what
there
did
must
you
have
have
been
in your car?
My guess would there was a swarming going around, because that's when like a hive gets too full, and then the queen and some of the other bees are like, well, let's find a new home.
Yeah.
With the power of dance and direct democracy. Bees are cool.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, maybe some scout bees found it and they're like, guys, this is the best place for our new hive.
A car! We can go places. Yeah. I was picturing bees driving cars, so
that probably means the queen got in there. Yeah, that was my assumption of just like, yeah, they were like, yeah, I would call the beekeeper, kill a beekeeper. That's what, because we were talking about it. Katie was over the other day. We were talking about that. And we're like, yeah, we would probably be a good idea to just be like, okay, I don't have a car for a couple of days.
I'm just gonna leave it here. Walk
When
home.
Alex was joking about, it's like, oh well, smoke calms bees down, so you just start the car on fire. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Smoke calms bees down, so you just start the car on fire. And I was like, that sounds like a bad plan.
Not a great idea.
Bees! Bees with bees' knees. Yeah. How did anybody else's crafting go? Or writing?
Or writing, yeah.
Josh's case. It's a craft.
That's
why the stream is called The Writes and Crafts.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Especially in, April.
I wish when I made this, like, the list of all the temperatures, that I didn't put the key on the back. This was, like, 5 years ago or something. This paper isn't really holding up. I have to, like, keep turning it, and it's just not the bestest idea.
You will know this for next time.
Yeah, I started this many years ago now, and I did like 4 months of it. It's a historical blanket. It's for like 30 years ago. And then I didn't do anything with it, and it just like moved and kept packing it and unpacking it, packing and unpacking. And now it's just a mess and tearing apart at the seams. And yeah.
I am theoretically attempting to learn how to crochet, because there are times when like I'm watching things and I'm like, but I want to be doing something with my hands and a little bit with my brain. And so I end up like playing mobile games or something. And it's like, I would rather be crocheting or doing something useful.
Yeah. I mean, I'm self-taught and poorly self-taught, but like this is fairly easy. Sorry. It is the same kind of stitch over and over again. Just different amounts of them. But yeah.
Sasha got all of 158 words down. That's 158 words.
Yay! Good job.
Cool. We are in no way on this stream ever talking about people not getting enough stuff done, because like I don't know how many words I got, because I was typing in a Google Doc and then I was typing in multiple docs on World Anvil. That really is helping me out with this, but seriously, the first thing I do every time I like pull up my files and I'm like, I'm going to work on this. And then I'm like, I need to write down more ideas in this file to make this file longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will eventually catch up.
Just keep telling yourself that it's fine. I want to know what Violet is baking.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
What baking do we have going on? That can be really nice. Yes. Yeah. It will definitely still be as delicious after going through whatever mailing it has to do. I have no idea where Violet lives, but
I want to say the Netherlands. I'm not quite sure. But that means that it's going to be like fresher when it arrives to me than when it arrives to you.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm happy.
Like either way, wherever they live, because that was my thing, unless they live like dead center between us, which I believe is an ocean.
Yeah.
One or the other of us is getting better baked goods. Apple crumble.
Ooh.
That being said, actually, she could just send them to you, because I can't eat baked goods made by anyone but myself, basically.
Yay!
Because I can't use sugar. I have to use fake sugar.
Yeah.
Have you tried
the mud cake again? After
no,
the initial incident?
Yet. The thing is, I think part of the problem is that the solid ingredient with the most mass in there is sugar.
Yeah.
Normally, you can use Splenda perfectly good as a substitute,
Mm-hmm.
it dissolves so easily.
Yeah.
I think there just isn't enough solid in that. So I may just try and find some other very easy recipe that is easy to do.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there should be a sugar-free version. Not of that exact recipe,
Right.
but of mud cakes. But,
yeah, I can probably find one.
Yeah.
Sasha suggests just shoving baked goods through the screen. We discovered during the 24-hour write-a-thon that you
So we
can't
could
do
not
that.
share a banana.
Yeah.
No.
Bug wanted to give me a banana, but Bug lives in Canada, so.
And I mean, that's even closer than Luxembourg.
Yeah,
like,
and still can definitely not.
Yeah.
Give me a banana.
We should work on that before the next 24 one.
Yeah, we need to figure out how to pass the. The thing is though, last time with COVID, like it wouldn't have been safe.
No.
Even if we had figured out how to give me a banana, though, given that we were all pretty silly at that point in time, I may have eaten it anyway. I may have grabbed Bug's hand and be like, "Ah, yes, I am cheating. Canada doesn't want us, but
yeah."
Through the magic of screens.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm just should one plan out the snacking ahead of time? Like, I'll have bananas, so I'll buy bananas and you will buy bananas. And then through the magic of video editing, I can just reach over here and you have bananas as well.
You can pull out a banana.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is thick. You just reach under the screen and I just reach under the screen and yeah, we can totally do that. That'll work.
Not enough at all a logistical thing at all. No. So long as it's fruit, nothing in wrappers, nothing branded to the country,
Yeah, that would be a bit of a problem.
Just sending out the care packages ahead of time with these are all the sweets that I'm gonna eat. These are all the ones you're gonna eat. And just too much work. Too much work.
Violet lives in Luxembourg, so you were close.
Yay.
Apple. Yeah, no, baking while cleaning can be very nice because then it smells lovely and there's incentive, especially if you're cleaning your kitchen. And you're just I have so many dishes to do. And when I'm done with them, I will get cookies. That's the thing. The other day I suddenly had a craving for cookies, which you actually can buy sugar-free. Unlike when I want donuts. I miss donuts so much.
Yeah.
I also miss dried fruit. The other day, because one of the things I do at work is I shop for customers who are doing curbside pickup. And they wanted raisins from the bulk aisle. So I was putting raisins into a bag. And I was so I could smell them. And I was like, I miss raisins.
Yeah.
I could probably eat 4 raisins if I, cushion them with cashews.
Yeah, not the same.
No. So, anyone want to do another sprint?
I'd be up for
Matilda is probably fine because she has a project that can be worked on outside of the sprint times. Ooh, but I need more tea. So yeah, we should do another sprint.
Okay then.
Anyone got a suggestion for a time?
Yeah, I mean not 20 minutes if you want to time it down.
Yeah, it can't be 20 minutes. Possibly 25 minutes or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I will see if we get any votes for 25 versus 30. 25? I'm awake.
Totally. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah. Actually, my vocabulary is always like this. What was I trying to say the other day that just jammed 2 words together? I can't remember. But yeah, that happens.
Ooh, it does. A little too often for sometimes. Good English.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's not your first language.
It's not. No, I can be excused with that, I guess.
I know none of the other languages. All right. Violet has said 25 minutes, so I am going to go find a 25-minute timer.
All
Matilda,
right,
are you ready for me to go find a 25-minute timer?
One more stitch. One more stitch.
Okay.
Okay. No. Hold on. Wait. Mild panic. Hold on. Still one more stitch. I lost my whatever it is I'm doing. My thread, my loop. I don't know. Terminology. I'm ready.
All right, finding a 25-minute timer. I'm on it.
Time a dance. Do, 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 do. It's gotten less flaily over time. Time a dance. Time a dance. Time a dance. Time a dance. Do, 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 do. Time a dance. Time a dance.
Why are you showing me a 15-minute timer?
Did you search for 25?
I searched for 25. No, thank you. Please stop. All right.
Time a dance. Time a dance. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do,
It
do,
worked
do, do,
last
do,
time. Oh, I know why it worked last
dance.
time.
Time a dance. Time a dance. Do, do, do. Time a dance. Time a dance. Time a dance. Time a dance. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
And
Hey!
I have one. All right. Oh, just because Sasha doesn't go to the Thursday streams, the timer dance is tradition. While someone is pulling up a timer, Matilda will timer dance.
Yep. And anyone is welcome to join me.
Yes. All right. Let me see. Now will it? Yes. Now it will do the thing that it's nice to do. All right. So I am going to start the timer now. Everyone will be back in 25 minutes.
Good luck.
All right, that is time.
Yay!
How did everybody do? How is your crocheting coming?
Coming along fine. I'm still working on the same color, so it doesn't look any different at all, but fine. It's fun at least, so.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I made myself more tea and then did some writing.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with putting information to this project and then not doing anything with it for a while and then coming back and then being like, oh, here is new stuff. Sometimes it's not new. Like, I can't remember how long ago it was when I did documents. So, like, half of the stuff I wrote during the first sprint, I went back at, like, reading through the document. And it's like, oh, I already noted that she has fungus powers. Surprising absolutely no one.
But it feels so good to come up with new things and then turn out to not be new. And you're like, oh, I wasn't actually productive. Thank you. Cool.
Well, so the parents of this character, one of them is a god of a realm of the dead, and then one of them is a healer. So it was like, I decided that some of her power set includes like life from death. So like fungus growing, fungus decomposing things, which is a very important part of the life cycle of our planet. And I'm going to be honest with you, when I first came up with the idea, I was like, how did this take me so long? I'm fascinated by fungus.
Yeah.
He also has necromancy powers, going off of the one of my favorite sayings about necromancy is necromancer is a healer that just never gave up.
I mean, yeah.
Which is why I like to, in several stories, I've paired it with somebody is both a necromancer and a healer. It's like one way or another, you're going to be back on your feet.
Yeah.
She is not, it doesn't have as much as the healer as some of my other characters, but it's like, I was like, oh, I haven't recorded what her powers are. How haven't I done that? And so I go back to up in the document, I'm reading the powers, and I'm like, oh, everything I wrote last sprint about her powers is not new.
But it felt good in the moment, didn't it?
Well, it's more of a trying to remember, when did I come up with this idea versus when was the last time I wrote it. So it's not necessarily I forgot that earlier I came up with the fungus idea. It's I forgot that after coming up with that, I did in fact go back.
Yeah.
How is anyone else doing on their things? How is the baking? How is the writing? I'll tell you right now, the tea is great.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I did some writing and then I made myself tea.
Yeah. I found the tea that Marcus talked about, but it doesn't actually say what's in it. It just says there's a classic black tea with a perfect balance of citrus and spices.
Okay.
Spices. So that's all it says.
Tea usually means a chai, I think.
Sorry?
I said spiced tea usually means chai. I think.
It's not a chai though. I think you might be able to make chai on it. But wait, it did say here black tea. That's some sort of flower, I think. Let me Google. And what are you in English? You're a flower, that's great. But Malva, Malve, shows up the same name in English too. Cinnamon, ginger. I'll send you a list.
Okay. Cinnamon, ginger. That's... Hi. Good morning. Or good afternoon.
Cool.
Yes.
I was gonna do that.
Yes, it's okay. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to take over.
I'm gonna go ahead.
That's fine. All right.
Everything's finished and in the
finished
oven. Yeah,
Might make a coffee now.
coffee.
Caffeinated drinks of choice.
Yeah, I realized that I got hungry. I'm like, yeah, I maybe should have had lunch before we started this, but I wasn't actually hungry then. And now I'm like, yeah, I could eat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, might go get some food in a next sprint.
Food is important.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm sustaining myself on the fact that I'm putting milk in this tea, therefore, it has calories. Therefore, it's fine.
Sure, that sounds like a food.
This definitely is not a way to try and give myself a migraine.
Mm-hmm.
That's my problem. It's like if I don't eat, I really regret it.
Yeah.
But I think I've got a little bit more time. Plus, I have like snacks.
Oh, fair enough.
I have a drawer of snacks.
What else would you keep in it? Obviously, drawers are for snacks.
I mean, like what's in here is a trail mix that I made myself, and cashews of various kinds. Also cashews in there because when I start getting a headache, that's actually very helpful.
Yeah.
They're a nice, just something about partially the taste, but then also just like, it's like I need a bunch of calories right now, but I don't, well, one, I can't have sugar. But even if I don't just want it to be like junk food, I'm eating them, it's like these feel like clean calories that will sustain me. Did Sasha vanish or are they busy? They must just be busy. There you go. So when I was bringing the tea into the room, I remembered something that I wanted to say, but I cannot. Ah, Sasha is in fact here. Oh, good.
But now you don't remember what it was?
Nope.
Yep.
Because then I wouldn't started doing writing.
Yeah.
I've been drinking so much tea the last several days. Like normally I have, yeah, oh wait. Yes, so much so. The times that I've had to call in for work or leave early, it's almost always the nausea. Like I can work through a lot of pain, but if I try and push through nausea, then I'm going to be forced to go home anyway because there are certain things that make it so you can't do your job anymore, and throwing up is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually the worst. That's sometimes the very worst symptom. That's sometimes worse than the pain, the nausea for the migraines. Not always. The pain tends to be pretty bad, but the nausea is what shuts down my day entirely.
Yeah.
And for a little while, I was like, every time I get a migraine, it gets so nauseous. And I was wondering if it's like, has my body figured out that that's the only way to stop me? As my body
I'm
figured out
pushing
that
through.
no matter how much pain it sends my way, nausea is more effective.
Yay.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and then of course the problem with getting the nausea with migraines is like then you need something in your body, but you can't put anything in your body.
Mm.
It's like I need food, but the thought of eating food is terrible. This is one of the reasons that I'm like going very heavily into tracking. I went and I did a bunch of research and I pulled up because there are actually 4 stages of migraines that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the earliest warnings, and then there's aura, and then there's like the migraine headache, and then there's like something that some people have that's like a migraine hangover.
Mm-hmm.
And in researching these symptoms, I was like, food cravings, especially for sweet, I didn't know that that was a part of my body warning me I'm going to get a migraine.
No.
Being extra thirsty, no matter how much water you're drinking, that's a thing that, well, because the thing is, every time I saw these things where I'm like, oh, that happens to me, like there's a part of my brain that's just like, migraines are more and more taking over my life. And I had to remind myself, it's like, no, this isn't a new thing that's happening. This is just something that's happening that I now know is part of a migraine.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that I'm finding these things out.
Yeah.
But if the faster I can shut down a migraine, the faster I'm not laying in a dark room full of pain while also being nauseous. Because I really cannot afford to miss more work.
Yay.
Missing several days a month is something that makes your job not very happy with you.
Yeah.
Not in like a beat way. Like my job is totally willing to work with me and is very, very cool, but like at the same time, it doesn't exist to give me money and then have me not fulfill my end of the bargain by making people be short-staffed.
Yeah.
And because of the way the United States healthcare system works, I have to work full-time. Otherwise,
Yay.
I don't have healthcare.
Yeah.
Even if working for full-time is what makes me need healthcare as often as I use it.
It's a nice little paradox there.
Yep. Nice little paradox there. That it's a good way of describing the American healthcare system.
Yeah.
I mean, also working full-time, I get more money, and money is important. But like,
so is health.
Yeah, healthcare is the bigger deal. I mean, not get like if I had healthcare through another system, and technically I could get on my husband's healthcare, but that would be way more expensive. Because either way, actually, so both of our employers will subsidize the healthcare costs of the employee, but do not subsidize necessarily the healthcare costs of a spouse, which means that while the insurance company is charging the same for the two people, the workplace is picking up a lot of that bill for the employee, but not so much for family.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the system. I'm very lucky or very grateful that we have a different system.
Yeah. Eventually we'll have real health care. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Minnesota's fairly progressive. Medicare for all is becoming less and less radical. And then because like the thing is, with that, I could just sit down and budget and look at how much money's coming in and how much money we're spending and how few hours can we afford for me to work. And I'm actually lucky. My job considers 30 hours to 40 hours full-time. So I only work 32 hours a week and still have health care, and that's not incredibly common in the American system.
No.
Like, a lot of places full-time is 40 hours.
Yeah. That's what full-time is here, typically.
Yeah. That's technically full-time, but my employer is like, well, 30 to 40 will count. And you can get benefits. So
that's very good.
Yes. Migraines, man.
Yeah. Is that something on your end? A plane or something? A car?
Plane going overhead.
Okay.
I did not realize you would pick that up. Yeah.
Where I grew up, we lived very, very close to some train tracks. And like we didn't notice because I mean the trains went by 50,000 times a day. We didn't notice. But as soon as we had people over, they were like, "What's that noise?" And we're like, "What noise? Oh, the trains? Yeah, they're right over there."
Yeah,
I almost see them.
Fairly close to the airport.
Yeah,
that's like the one downside of the suburb that I live in.
Mm.
We really like it here. And the airplanes aren't even that bad.
No.
But yeah, it's once again one of those things that it's in the background.
Yeah.
Though, if I have a migraine, one of the things that I have is my brain stops being as good. Because you know how like your brain does a lot of removing background noise because it's just like, I don't need to bring your attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just going to tell you things that like I think are relevant. That part of my brain doesn't work as well when I have a migraine, so I will then notice all of the planes.
Yeah. Yeah, the ventilation system at my job went down, but they had to shut it down for some maintenance or something a while ago, and they didn't know ahead of time, so we didn't know ahead of time, and all of a sudden it was just so quiet, and that's not a noise that I acknowledge that I hear, but it was just so quiet, and I was like,
it's like, what's going
did
on?
my ears like clog or something? Like what's going on? Until I read the little thing on the website, and I was like, okay, it's not me, it's the vents.
Yeah. Well, like the house that we're in, I do not know what is with my throat this morning. I don't have a sore throat. I just keep losing my voice, like talking until it just trails off.
Allergies?
I don't think so. The answer is more tea.
Excellent. Yes, of course.
Yeah, but the house we live in is creaky, which I'm noticing, but I'm sure I will stop noticing fairly quickly, especially because like, and I know this from growing up in a creaky house, when I start, I know where some of the spots are. You just kind of walk around them. Though the one in this room is like directly in front of the door, so it's not very easy to move.
You have to jump.
In my parents' house, one of the steps like has like a crack in it, and that's the really noisy one, and I was just in the habit of stepping over it. Especially when I was in college, and so I was like going out late. It would be, 9 or 10 p.m. and I would be going downstairs to have somebody pick me up. And for quite a while of my life, my mother had super bad insomnia. Not technically insomnia, but her alpha waves don't turn off at night. Her active brain waves don't go to sleep. She's now medicated for that. But that meant that she, would be laying awake and even the smallest noise would wake her up. And so it wasn't like I was trying to sneak out of my parents. Like my parents knew I was going out and hanging out with people, but I always felt a little bit like because I would creep downstairs and then go in the porch and then just sit still waiting for my person to come while I looked out the window.
Yeah.
So this must be what it feels like to try and sneak out of your parents' house at night. But it's just because I'm so used to not making noise at night because I don't want to. I'm so glad my mother was medicated when I was in college.
Mhm.
I mean, otherwise I probably just would have like hung out at other people's houses even more than I did. Like, if I was going somewhere with something, even if it was late at night, I would have like left before she went to bed to hang out with someone until, yeah. But yeah, I have no idea if the airplane noises here are louder or not than when we were living in an apartment. Because this city just has airplanes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it'd be a good time for another sprint.
Yeah.
Not just because I am almost out of tea. I feel like cranking it up to 30. That is okay with everybody. Though that will take you, Matilda asked earlier how long I was thinking of going, and I said last time we were 20 minutes. That would push us to, or not 20 minutes.
Yeah,
2
no.
hours. 2 hours.
We have been going for longer than 20 minutes, yeah. A shocking turn of events.
I don't think we did our first sprint before we've been going for 20 minutes.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 30 minutes unless somebody has an objection. That would take us to 2 hours and 15 minutes. I am not yet like tired of doing this.
No.
I don't know how anybody else is feeling, though we do have, I don't know. I don't know how many people we still have. It says that there are 2 people watching, and so we'll see.
Yeah.
I am going to go look for a 30-minute timer because no one has objected.
Time it dance, time it dance, time it dance, time it dance. Time it dance. Yeah, I'm gonna go find lunch in the sprint.
It's a good idea.
I don't have to go very far. It's in the kitchen, but I have to go foraging.
And there we go.
Timer!
Keeping with the theme. I have no idea if these are all the same person, by the way. I have not been paying attention.
They're pretty. We're happy with that.
Yeah. And we are going to go. Matilda and I will be nourishing our bodies and then doing some writing.
Yes,
well, I will be doing some writing. Matilda will be crocheting. Anyway,
yeah.
See you soon, everybody.
Good luck.
And we are back, and I'm going to even take down the banner.
Fancy,
Being
fancy.
so professional.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I know that during the sprint we had my friend Justin show up. Hello, Justin.
Hello.
So, how was the food?
Food was very good. I made it back with 30 seconds spare. So, you know, it was an enjoyable meal.
It's good. I just, for the first time, tasted my tea that I made during that break. I have switched from writing to very specific crafting. I've got all of these like sample size tea things, like a lot of them, like too many of them. So I'm making them little containers, and I'm making them that poster board and foam board because I theoretically won't need them forever. I mean, I should go and before making them, mostly I just did measurements. I measured, I want them to fit in here, but I also want them to fit on a cart that I have that was originally a crafting cart that is now empty. So I was measuring and I was figuring out I can get 2.5 boxes per sheet of poster board that I have.
Yeah.
Well, that was a very productive break for you. Walked a dog, got coffee, read.
Yeah.
Very, very good. And yes, greetings, salutations, and hellos to and from Justin. How did anyone else do on their crafting I don't know the rest of the word I was going to say. Yeah, I don't know. Tea.
Tea. Good answer. Yeah, I was informed. I have a call scheduled with some friends in a little bit that we set up a couple weeks ago, and I have forgotten about 3 times since.
Yeah.
Not when it was actually like I haven't forgotten like, oh, it's scheduled now. I just remembered, but I've 3 times forgotten that it's Sunday. So
Crafting experiments, expeditions.
Expedition, yeah.
Excitement. I don't know. There's lots of X. Yeah. Yes. Crafting expeditions. Crafting. I don't know if the word that I was trying to think of just isn't a real word. Well, because I think I was like mashing expedition and something else together. And I now can't remember the second half. It is. I am way too many cups of tea into having the words not work this well.
At least you're getting names for upcoming streams, like Marcus tends to do. Like crafting experience, crafting expedition, etc.
Yes, all words are real if you say them with enough confidence.
True.
Many words are perfectly cromulent as long as you know what they mean.
Yes.
I know what lots of words mean. I have high vocabulary because, I read a lot. And the thing is, if I could remember the second part of the mashed up word, then yes, I would feel like it was real. But I can't.
Now that it's just gone, it doesn't help.
The second part of the mashed up word.
Yeah.
So, Justin, what kind of crafting are you going to do? Are you also going to be writing? Oh, also, Matilda, at this point, I've got enough steam, and I know I'll have at least one commenter, so I will probably be going for a while.
Cool.
Obviously, you are not obligated to stay.
Yeah.
Especially
should
when
probably-
you have social
Engagements, experiences,
responsibilities.
expeditions. That. Yeah. I should probably duck out kind of soon. But if like up until the next sprint or something, I could stay and then leave when you guys start sprinting.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. Justin will be writing. I am not. Oh, come on. This is why I always have the StreamYard and the regular comments up. Justin will be writing once he gets out of his comfy chair. Are you doing Camp NaNoWriMo, Justin? Because I'm not, but Matilda is.
As you can tell.
As you can tell. I mean, in fairness, how many days ahead did you get on Thursday?
Oh, that Thursday's not even in the running anymore. Yesterday I passed 5.5. Marcus passed 10. So we're good. We're fine. It's great.
Just don't rely on that and then the last week of camp say, oh no,
Yeah, no.
I may have a beautiful scarf, but I am 10 days behind in the words.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what I did last year, especially for Nano, but have also done multiple times in the past. Where I'm like, no, I'll just get ahead because it's nice to be ahead. And then I sort of forget that I'm still supposed to be writing. And then I'm like, oh, I have 20K and a day and a half to do it. So.
Austin is not doing Camp 9.0, but is in a writing group. So still a deadline. And in fact, a harder to move deadline. That's the thing about camp, especially Camp Nano. Or sorry, that's the thing about Nano, especially Camp Nano, is the deadline is very personal.
Yeah.
The worst person you'll disappoint is yourself, and you know.
Yeah.
If you go to your writing group and you're like, I got sidetracked and I made a scarf.
I feel very called out right now.
I'm sorry.
I'm ahead for my Nano. However, the deadline for this is September, so
So you
I have time.
are very ahead. You are being very responsible, which is why it is perfectly okay to crochet during the Writes and Crafts stream.
Yes.
Violet is very casual about camp. Like, I considered doing a casual camp, and then I was like, I don't even want the extra stress of like recording my words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fully embarrassing yourself in front of professional writers is not optimal.
No, not a great time.
Or even partially. Yeah. That's the other day on the Discord that Matilda and I are in, and I keep talking about, but I don't like have linked or anything. I can do that. I mean, as long as it's okay to expand, because that's a specific group.
Yeah.
If you think it's okay to bring, I think I'll ask. Anyway, there's a writing bot on it. And one of the things is like, what's the hardest part of the writing for you? And I was like, sharing it with people. Which, given that my biggest motivation for writing is my husband keeps asking, he's like, I would like to see your writing one day. And I was like, but that means I have to actually do it.
Yeah.
And after, like, there was one time that he asked, I was doing like some very casual, I think I was just found AuthorTube, and I was just doing some really casual, like, thought dumping. And then my husband's like, yeah, I'd really like to see your writing one day. And there was something in my brain that went like, okay, that means that I have to take this seriously. Not in a bad way, obviously, but you know, that was a clicking moment for me.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to share my writing with you. And to do that, I have to actually write it down. This is, of course, for most writers, the hardest. They're like, no, I have a wonderful idea and I want it to be a wonderful book. but I have to write it down, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, I rarely, if ever, make it past the first draft because I sort of lose interest in it. It's a great habit to have. And with that, I mean, I have shown my first draft work to some people, but I'm not really in the habit of continuing to write after the first draft or showing people. I'm not really in the habit of writing. Let's put it like that. So,
I mean, I'm
but
talking
then
about
I get bursts of excitement, you know, and then I do it then and then never again.
Well, yeah, no, that's the thing when I'm like really excited about an idea and I thought dump it, and then I'm like go to another. That's the thing with this, because like I thought dumped it and then I go and then I come back and I'm like, I've had these new thoughts about it, and then I read through and I'm like, some of them aren't new, some of them contradict earlier. Well, like I was entering the powers of this character into her character sheet on World Anvil, and so I had to go back and I was reading the list of powers and I'm like, not all of these work anymore.
Yeah.
Or even if they don't like not work, they don't like fit in my current idea of the character. But because of the way that I deal with these things, they're still on the sheet. Like everything that I wrote on the thought dump is still there. I've just crossed out anything that I've put into World Anvil or the plot document. Because that's always what I do with these, like just in case.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting for me to see, because I started off pretty good with the nano on Thursday, and then I wrote 500 words on Friday. And then yesterday I really, really wasn't feeling it initially, and then it turned out fine. But I like how even though I this time around have an outline and we have a map and we have a plot and we have all these things that I tend to not have when I start, I like that my process was entirely the same, which was me, you know, flopping onto the bed and going, "This is horrible. Why am I doing this? I hate everything, Marcus. It's stupid."
And Marcus
so you know,
can be like, well, then Marcus can be like, I've written this far. I need you to catch up.
yeah.
Is it helpful to be writing the same story as somebody who gets more of those words down?
I mean, I can get competitive. So with him now being about 5K ahead of me, that's motivating or stressful, depending on how you look at it. But since we both have relatively low goals for camp, and they're going to meet, their paths are going to cross later on than the 15, 20K that we have as goals, I'm not that stressed about it. Because it would be one thing if like, no, the goal is 50 and at the end of it, they're going to meet. And then I'd have a lot like, oh, I really need to get there in time. Now I'm just like, I'm just going to write 15,000 words. That's not that bad. So we'll see. Because we're not going to start reading each other's work until they meet. Possibly when they are doing the fire trial, or until they do the water one.
But you two are writing the same. It's not just like you and Bug writing off the same outline. You are writing the same story. Question mark.
Bug and I had the same outline and wrote the same story. Marcus and I have the same outline, but are writing different POV characters.
Okay.
So they're in different places and they don't know each other or anything yet.
Yeah. I work Saturdays, so I was entirely not participating in the streams.
Yeah, a lot has happened since the last Sunday stream you were in.
Yeah. Like the first Saturday stream that happened, I was not sick, but I was out of work because I had been feeling ill, and that meant that I had to be out of work for 72 hours before after the last of my symptoms.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't work that Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I was working every other Saturday. So
Yeah.
I know. I thought about doing camp. I don't think I have successfully done a NaNoWriMo. I don't even know if I think most of the time, like, I'll do like a week or two, and then something will happen, and then I'll just stop.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. I don't take the camps super seriously. I mean, this time around, I really do want to. I ideally want to write more than the 15,000 words I set as a goal, because we worked on this for so long, and I want it written, sort of. But I never take the camps as seriously as I do real nano in November. Real nano, I will not let myself fail. I have to win because of my streak. Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly. Like, as soon as I start getting a streak, it's like, oh, there's a part of me that when I will start getting a streak will be like, oh no, I'm setting the stakes higher and higher. Like, to get the mortgage so that we could move into the house, like, our bank or our credit union required us to take a specific, like, home ownership class thing. Just so we knew how they want us to not just default because we have no idea what we're doing. And because there was a little quiz at the end of each section, and every single one I was getting 100%. And every time I got a new one, I'm like, oh, I need it to be 100. I'm putting extra pressure on myself. Fortunately, like, the goal of those quizzes, the thing I have to remind myself of most things like that now, the goal of those quizzes is not like in school where it's trying to, like, they're supposed to make it, at school, it's like, did you pay attention in class and take all the right notes? And maybe there'll be a trick question here and there because we want to know that you paid attention to the right things in class. And this was a lot more like, here's information we just went over. This is more of a reinforcement than anything else. But yeah, I got 100% on all of them. And by the last couple, I was like, oh man, I can't get less than 100%. I've got a 100% streak. I need to continue my 100% streak.
Yeah. Yeah, for camp, or for real November Nana, for me, the only year I've lost was my first year. And that was 09, I think, 08 or 09. So I haven't lost since then, I haven't not won since then. And I'm like, but I need to keep going. I can't start now.
Yeah.
It's been a good, 12 years or so. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see if I have. The last time I started, I think it was Nano, but it could have been a Camp Nano. I was working on an outline, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just finish this and then start writing the story for Nano. And my outline writing process is just too intense for that. So it was not a completed outline for me. And then I was trying to write from it, and it was just not working because I had the outline needs to be done by this date.
Yeah.
And that very quickly fell apart for me. And I was like, I have to go back and fix this outline.
Yeah.
Because my outline is like a zero draft. I just write pretty much all of the stuff. It's like, and then they get out of it by doing this thing, 4 paragraphs. With zero description. Bunch of placeholders. Occasionally people with no names. I try to make sure I have names before I start, but names are hard.
Yeah.
Names are hard. So I think at this point it would be a good time to start another sprint, which I believe means Matilda will be leaving us.
Yeah. I should prepare for the other call.
All right.
But
social obligation. That was the word I was looking for.
That was the word.
Obligation.
Yeah. No, but this was fun. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining me. If you guys are interested in seeing both Matilda and myself again, we are going to be doing a live stream with Matilda on her husband Marcus's channel.
Yes.
On Thursday, which Violet already knows what time it is for anybody in my time zone. That is noon for us. So I think at least some of the people watching have a real job that they can't. Well, some people have a quote unquote and sulky about it real job that they can't work or they can't do a stream in the middle of Thursday. But just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I
mean, if you're in Sweden, it's a pretty nice time. It's 7 p.m. So.
Yeah. I'm going to do one tangent here because I have a real gripe. While I was looking up all the migraine stuff I was looking up, I came across an article that was like hacks for migraines at work. And then I read it and it became very clear very quickly that they just assumed you were an office worker.
Yeah.
Like they assumed you were sitting in front of a computer, either in an office or in a cubicle. And they're like, yeah, if you've got an office door, shut that. If not, here are tips for soundproofing your cubicle. I was like, I work standing in front of a cash register. Maybe your title should have mentioned the fact that you just take it for granted that I've got a white collar job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Real
Do you soundproof your customers? Is that a thing?
I mean, we now have a wall of plexiglass between us and the customers, but it's not the same.
No. This is a quiet zone, No talking in the register.
I also need the register to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And the wall of windows I work next to, if we can just pull the shades on those.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Anyway, Matilda, it has been lovely. I will hopefully have you as a guest again at some point.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And I'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Now is me. And I think I'm going to go for doing another timer. Last one was 30. I don't think I want to go over that right now. Do you guys want to do a 30-minute or like a 25? Are there any feelings about that? Well, for now, yes. Okay, 30. Excellent. Yes. Cool. I will then set up and start the 30-minute timer. We'll see you guys soon. All right, that's time. That's full 30 minutes. See that Justin is doing dishes. Anyone else still here and wanting to talk about what they got done? I discovered that the project I'm working on I have to put on hold because some of the tools I need for it are elsewhere. So I went back to sorting through all of the stuff I have for this story. Do. I did find out, I went and I measured, and I'll be able to do the full-size bags in the same way as the sample size bags, so they're not going to be completely useless when I'm done with them. I also finished my third cup of tea for the day. And probably should go eat breakfast sometime soon, so I will be wrapping it up. I think I'll wait for Justin to get back. Do a little bit of chat there. This is more writing than I have done in weeks. And it feels like not enough. I will fix that. Hey, hi Moon. Happy to see you in here. That is completely understandable. But it was nice to see you, even if you will only be here for a couple of minutes. So I have what I think is a full script. I didn't want to work on that here because that involves me just talking to myself, and I felt weird about that. But I am going to run through it to see how actually long it is. And then I'm also I'm probably going to just record the audio without much editing or anything, and then I'll put it out on the Discord and ask for people's feedback. But it'll essentially be a rough draft. Like, I'm not editing it and putting in some of the sound effects and things that I want to do, but hopefully I will work on that project later today. Yeah, I'm glad that you're excited about it. And we will see how far I get today. But yeah, I am going to post the rough draft where it's just me talking, just to get any basic feedback about that. So we will see. Breakfast is indeed important. And in fact, I probably should go have some. I'm going to wrap it up for now. Wow. Suddenly, this microphone catches a lot more than I think it does. I will tell him that you said hi. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up. It's been 3 hours, 15 minutes. It's been really fun. Happy about it. And I'm going to be doing this again next week. And then also, as earlier plugged, I'm going to be live streaming with Matilda and her husband Marcus on his channel on Thursday. I put absolutely nothing about this in the description. So, yeah. It's my second stream. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Or hear from you later. Goodbye. Bye, everybody. Yeah.